Very good day to one and all. I am Dr. Vikesh Lade, course instructor to Catalysis, which is elective subject for this semester. The presentation is meant for Catalysis overview. The catalyst is nothing but a magic box. How it is a magic box, we will see in detail in a great depth in due course of time. Now we will see what is subscribed and prescribed syllabus for this course. This course is meant for seventh semester BTech Chemical Engineering. This course will have 4 number of credits, which is divided into 20 marks internal assessment and 80 marks university exam. 20 marks in internal assessment. Due to COVID situation, we cannot have class test, but we will see how to go about it. I guess we'll have to have online test, and probably we will stick to MCQs, fill in the blanks type of test. And this will be conducted in 3rd week of August for module 1. Let us see what all there in your syllabus. Unit 1 consists of introduction to catalysis, which also has parameters like types of catalyst, heterogeneous, homogeneous, and biocatalyst, with industrial examples from chemical and allied industries. The course is somewhat jumbled, as you can see. Biocatalyst is there in unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. Therefore, we will try to have different module for biocatalysis. However, unit 1, I will prefer to merge unit 1 and unit 2 into module 1. Some part of unit 2 will be in module 1, and some part of unit 2 and unit 3 altogether we will have module 2. Unit 2 consists of heterogeneous catalysis, with emphasis on its mechanism, how to go about formulation of rate equation, and then based on it engineering problems, and also will touch upon the mass transfer consideration which you might have studied in your chemical reaction engineering 1 and also in mass transfer operation. Also have reactor types. We will also try to touch upon the what all the reactors therein for heterogeneous catalysis. You probably might be knowing the reactor types: fixed bed, fluidized bed reactors, packed bed reactors. We will see in greater details as course progresses. Unit 3 consists of adsorption theories for Lang and then Langmuir and Sherwood approach for development of rate equation. Also consists of diffusion effects for reactions, and this Michaelis-Menten kinetics we will see in different module. And unit 4 consists of preparation of catalysts, whether supported metals, metal oxide catalyst, all major steps involved in preparation and formation of catalyst. To the greater extent as course progresses, the major emphasis I will prefer to give on catalyst characterization, because characterization of catalyst will enable us to visualize the catalysis phenomena. So surface properties are of major importance when we talk of catalysis. So all surface properties, how they are measured, how they are evaluated, how they are established, what are the advanced techniques to measure this surface properties, the analytical techniques, its basis, and how to measure these surface properties we'll see in greater details. The reaction, inhibition and deactivation to the greater details in unit 4. Unit 5 deals with the zeolite, its structural consideration, some of the case studies based on industrial applications, and how zeolites are modified, that we will see. And in 6th unit I will prefer to have self-study mode. We will see how to go about it, since unit 6 is nothing but recent developments in catalytic processes and its case studies. So considering various types of reactors, we will formulate group amongst you so that the group activities also will get developed. Like, let us consider petrochemical industry, wherein catalytic reactors are of immense importance. Name any reaction, whether it is hydration or hydrogenation or hydrothermal reaction, therein all are based on catalysis. So I prefer this segment of industries or reaction types to be given to one group, and they will come up with presentation as well as report, a small report which needs to be submitted, and that will be having also some internal marks. So along with your recent development in catalytic processes, I will also take 3 important case studies which I personally have encountered during my career in industry, so as to get your flavor how industries are coming up with new developments in catalytic processes. These are all prescribed books for catalysis, but these are not limited. I personally will prefer some of the portion from elements of chemical reaction engineering, Fogler, for some of the portion, but not all portion. There are some textbooks which I use. I will try to share with you as and when I use that books. Now we'll see the objective of this course. This course is meant to introduce to you what catalytic phenomena is all about, its types and its industrial applications with examples. It also meant to equip you to design reactors for heterogeneous catalytic reaction system and biocatalytic reaction systems. This course is also meant to build you the fundamentals of heterogeneous reaction systems with design and analysis of catalytic fluid solid reactors, including multi-phase reactors. with an objective of selection and design of catalyst for specific industrial application with an extension to catalyst characterization. As I earlier mentioned, catalyst characterization is of immense importance since the catalytic process is surface phenomena. So the objective is set clear cut that after completion of this course you should have ability to select and design the processes. This course is also have objective as to design and engage student in handling common industrial chemical and biochemical reactors, so that when you go to industry you should have preformed mind setup, not rigid, but you should have knowledge basis which is required to handle chemical and biochemical reactors which have catalytic applications. This course is also have objective to create interest among you regarding catalysis and its importance in making green, environmental friendly processes. And the last objective of this course is to make you aware about recent development in catalytic processes and technologies with case studies. These are not the only objective, but to stress upon this objective will be primary focus. Now, after this course is finished, the expected outcome of this course is that you all students should be able to understand the role of catalyst in the reactions and analyze the transport mechanism in heterogeneous catalysis and biocatalysis. Why heterogeneous catalysis and biocatalysis is stressed upon is basically homogeneous catalysis, its application is only 10% in chemical industry, whereas rest heterogeneous catalysis, 80% of chemical reactions are based on heterogeneous catalysis. And biocatalysis is stressed upon because this is the future. We'll see it in greater details. You should be able to understand the heterogeneous reaction system and design reactors for fluid solid reaction. Also, you should be able to characterize catalyst surface properties which are required for activation of catalyst. Further, you should identify critical parameters affecting the performance of heterogeneous and multi-phase reactors. And last one is to apply this general problem solving approach to design heterogeneous and multi-phase reaction systems. Now we'll see why it is prescribed in your syllabus. Name any chemical which is not using catalyst for its manufacturing. There are very few. So nearly 70,000 products are being manufactured by the processes which are catalytic, and it accounts for about 5% of global GDP, and every year it is growing 1.5 times global GDP. So it is very relevant course for chemical engineers to study. Chemical industry probably may not have glamour of new economy, but it is vital to sustain present day civilization. Since the new economy is basically services and information technology. But my dear students, the chemicals are unavoidable for mankind, be it in material, be it in energy, be it in health, or be it in food sectors. So every sector is dependent on catalysis right now. New materials which are being developed for pharmaceutical. Let us take example for pharmaceuticals. So most of the pharmaceutical reactions are catalytic reactions. So name the sector, you will see that catalyst is unavoidable. You may say that agricultural sector, but agricultural sector uses fungicide, pesticide, insecticides, then fertilizers. Everything is linked. So these chemicals are being manufactured by some of the chemical processes. These processes to be environmental as well as economical feasible, catalyst is unavoidable. So this is the waste products during chemical production by industrial segments. So look at the topmost. Oil refining has highest production capacity. Its tonnage is in millions to billions. However, waste produced is minimal. This is because the most of the chemical processes are catalytic and efficient. Whereas, look at the fine chemicals and pharmaceuticals. Fine chemicals and specialty chemicals are in the range of 100 to 10,000 metric ton, whereas its byproducts are 5 to 50 kg per kg. So look at the numbers. Whereas in pharmaceuticals, its production capacities are in 1000 tonnage, but byproducts and waste products are in the range 25 to even 100 kg. So we have to come up with the processes which will enable us to reduce this tonnage, reduce this waste products. The major shift in paradigm shift in the chemical synthetic processes from 70s to now has been there. Before 70s, the major driver for chemical production were only economical factors. So the profitability was the major factor which were driving for chemical synthesis. But post 70, you can see energy economy, environmental awareness and safety were major drivers. Economic factor were always there. Unless economy is not there, you cannot have chemical synthetic process. Then further it shifted to reduction of cost, materials, risk, energy and waste and non-renewables. So this was major shift of post 70s, and this led to concept of atom economy, green chemistry, stereospecific conversions, energy efficient separations and processes at moderate conditions of temperature pressures. So this is basically nothing but inherent safer processes. And later on, this shift has changed and future lies in the chemical synthetic processes to obtain atom efficient, inherent safe and simple to operate, one step with 100% yield, no waste reagents, environmental acceptable and renewable raw material processes. So this is what expected after your course is complete. You should be able to sustain with this synthetic synthesis processes. Also, this course will be based on the principle of safer reactions and reagent for new chemistries, like changing hazardous chemicals, hazardous raw materials, hazardous reagents, and come up with new chemistry. Then principle also incorporates in search of new renewable feedstock raw materials. This led to green chemistry, which in fact the times need. The processes have to be green for long run sustenance. New innovative engineering, this can be of mechanical importance, wherein as a chemical engineer we can contribute to a larger extent. Existing reactors having a different configuration, with changes into reactor configuration, can we have the yield improvement? So this is what innovative engineering is all about. And then the process intensification. This you might be knowing, this principle is basically reduction in energy material with increase in your yield. So look at the chemical reactors, look at the photochemical reactors. So simple application of sonochemistry to the reaction, ultrasound and ultrasound waves, you can increase yield and decrease your reaction time. So this is what process intensification means. New trend has arrived in chemical field, wherein you need not have a separation unit. Membrane can do it for you. So design of membranes is of immense importance, wherein you can design it in a way that reaction happens in the reactor, as well as separation can be also done into the same reactor. So this principle helps you in avoiding a different unit operation, which is probably you can avoid distillation, then extraction, centrifugation. So reaction as well as separation can be carried out in the same reactors. And then alternative solvents has to be searched, which are non-flammable, non-carcinogenic, non-hazardous. The water is best solvent, but every chemistry cannot be carried out in aqueous phase. So organic chemicals are unavoidable in some cases, but at the same time you have to search upon the different solvents which can give you the reaction yield comparable to the existing one. Not only that, if possible, search a solvent wherein reaction yield is increased. But that solvent should be non-hazardous and non-pyrophoric or non-flammable. So these all principles can be clubbed together and can have basis for catalysis. So apart from selection of catalysis, these 7 principles can be incorporated so that the technology which is developed is clean and green. Why we need to study this catalysis? With small example we can understand. 80% of processes in chemical industry use catalyst. So all major chemicals, be it bulk, be it specialty, be it pharmaceutical chemicals, they use catalyst. So as a chemical engineers, we must have basic as well as thorough understanding of catalyst. In terms of economy, you can see that the royalties for technology process licensing in chemical polymers and refining exceed about 3.5 billion annually, and just catalyst sold in the merchant market exceed 9 billion per year in 2004. The recent data is not there, so I have taken from different reference. So look at the numbers. Moreover, the catalyst world demand has grown to a large extent. In 2018, it was about 20.6 billion, and growth will continue to increase every year, and it is expected that 5 to 10% growth will be there for a catalyst business. And this is a great business and chemical industry all depends on catalyst. So it is indeed a need of time to study catalysis by chemical engineers to come up with new clean green chemical process. Also, the trend is coming where non-renewable resources has to be converted into green fuels, and that can be accomplished only by use of catalyst. So this have great enormous impact on chemical industry and everyday life. This catalysis also meant for safer processes. You can have reduction in operating pressures, operating temperature, so as milder conditions are there, and the processes can be more efficient. Also, it has great importance because for chemical industries, even increase in 1% of selectivity will fetch you millions of dollars. So in terms of economy, environment and safety, so all three sustainable factors have impact of catalysis. This catalysis have influence on R&D, technology and process development sector, process licensing sectors, then process engineering and construction EPC sector, product development and manufacturing and supply sector. Most of the global economy and societal gains over this 100 years would not have been possible without catalysis. So my dear friend, it has great impact on processes. Therefore, we need to study to the greater extent, and this catalysis has feature wherein every sustainable processes for production of chemicals and fuel are based upon the catalysis. To name oxidation, reduction, coupling, all chemicals based synthesis, wherein all whatever you use on daily basis, then this fuel refining, and the future lies in biorefining, wherein biomass, which is rather which needs to be converted to fuels, otherwise it is pollution creation for environment. So these all fields, moreover the solar fuels and fuel cells are also based upon the catalysis. So, my dear friends, the future lies in the catalysis. Therefore, it is of great importance to chemical engineers to study this subject. With this, I thank you. For any queries, I am always available. My mobile number is given there. Moreover, if you have any query, you can directly write mail to me. Thank you once again. We will see module 1 in next lecture. Thank you.